The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Chapter 15. The Discovery of Oz, the Terrible. Part 1. The four travelers walked up to the big gate of the Emerald City and rang the bell. After they rang it several times, the gate was opened by the same guardian they had met before. "What? You're back again?" he said in surprise. "Can't you see us?" replied the Scarecrow. "But I thought you went to see the Wicked Witch of the West," said the man. "We did," answered the Scarecrow. "And she let you go?" asked the man in surprise. "She couldn't help it, she melted," said the Scarecrow. "Melted? That's wonderful news," said the man. "Who melted her?" "Dorothy did," said the lion seriously. "Goodness!" cried the man, and he bowed very low to her. Then he took them into his small room and locked the green spectacles on their eyes, just as he had done before. After that, they went through the gate into the Emerald City. The soldier with the green whiskers was still guarding the door, but he let them in right away. The same beautiful green girl met them and led each one to their old rooms. There they could rest until the great Oz was ready to see them. The soldier sent the news right to Oz that Dorothy and her friends had returned after destroying the Wicked Witch. But Oz did not answer. They thought the great wizard would call for them right away, but he didn't. They heard nothing from him the next day, or the one after that, or even the next. Finally, the Scarecrow asked the green girl to send another message to Oz. He said that if Oz didn't let them see him soon, they would call the winged monkeys to help. Then they would find out whether he had kept his promises or not. When the wizard got the message, he became very frightened. He sent a message back, telling them to come to the throne room at 4 minutes after 9 the next morning. He had met the winged monkeys once in the land of the West, and he didn't want to meet them again. The four travelers could not sleep all night. Each of them was thinking about the gift that Oz had promised to give. At exactly 9 o'clock the next morning, the soldier with the green whiskers came to them. 4 minutes later, they all went into the throne room of the great Oz. Of course, each of them thought they would see the wizard just as he had looked before. But they were very surprised when they looked around and saw no one in the room. They stood close to the door and even closer to each other. The quiet, empty room felt more frightening than any of the shapes Oz had taken before. Soon they heard a deep, serious voice that seemed to come from the top of the big dome. It said, "I am Oz, the great and terrible. Why do you want to see me?" They looked carefully all around the room, but no one was there. So Dorothy asked, "Where are you?" "I am everywhere," said the voice. "But ordinary people cannot see me. I will now sit on my throne so you can talk with me." The voice then sounded as if it came from the throne itself, so they walked toward it and stood in a row. Dorothy said, "We have come to ask for your promise, Oz," said Dorothy. "What promise?" asked Oz. "You said you would send me back to Kansas when the Wicked Witch was gone," said Dorothy. "And you said you would give me brains," said the Scarecrow. "And you said you would give me a heart," said the Tin Woodman. "And you said you would give me courage," said the Cowardly Lion. "Is the Wicked Witch really gone?" asked the voice, and Dorothy thought it sounded a little shaky. "Yes," she said. "I melted her with a bucket of water." "Oh my," said the voice. "That was very sudden. Come to me tomorrow. I need time to think." "You've already had enough time," said the Tin Woodman angrily. "We won't wait any longer," said the Scarecrow. "You must keep your promises to us," cried Dorothy. The lion decided it might be good to scare the wizard. He gave a big, loud roar that was very strong and scary. Toto jumped back in fright and knocked over a screen standing in the corner. The screen fell down with a crash, and everyone looked in that direction. The next moment, they were all filled with surprise. They saw in the place where the screen had stood a little old man with no hair and a wrinkled face. He looked just as surprised as they were. The Tin Woodman lifted his axe, ran toward the man, and shouted, "Who are you?" "I am Oz, the Great and Terrible," said the little man in a shaking voice. "Please don't hurt me. I'll do anything you want." Their friends all stared at him in shock and surprise.
"Oh my God!"
"I thought Oz was only a great head," said Dorothy. "And I thought Oz was a beautiful lady," said the Scarecrow. "And I thought Oz was a terrible beast," said the Tin Woodman. "And I thought Oz was a ball of fire," said the lion. "No, you're all wrong," said the little man quietly. "I was only pretending." "Pretending?" cried Dorothy. "Aren't you a great wizard?" "Hush, my dear," he said softly. "Don't talk so loudly, or someone might hear. Then I would be in trouble. People think I'm a great wizard." "And you're not?" she asked. "Not at all, my dear. I'm just an ordinary man." "You're even worse than that," said the Scarecrow sadly. "You're a fake." "That's right," said the little man, rubbing his hands together as if he were pleased. "I am a fake."
I am a fake.
"But that's awful," said the Tin Woodman. "How will I ever get my heart? And how will I get my courage?" asked the lion. "And how will I get my brains?" cried the Scarecrow, wiping his eyes with his sleeve. "My dear friends," said Oz, "please don't talk about such small matters. Think of me and how much trouble I'm in now that you've found me out." "Doesn't anyone else know you're a fake?" asked Dorothy. "No one knows except you four and me," said Oz. "I've fooled everyone for so long that I thought no one would ever find out. It was a big mistake to let you come into the throne room. I usually don't see anyone, not even the people of the city, so they believe I'm something powerful and terrible. But I don't understand," said Dorothy, very puzzled. "How did you look like a great head to me?" "That was one of my tricks," said Oz. "Come this way, and I'll tell you everything."
Come this way.